psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever. FundingPips. Built by traders for traders.
Welcome everybody to yet another success story. It is my absolute pleasure to host today Diddy, our FundingPips trader that had received $27,000 in total rewards. That's truly inspirational. So to those of you who are watching these every single Wednesday, welcome back. To those of you who are watching it for the first time, it's the opportunity to learn the success story of our FundingPips traders and to learn the impact of FundingPips as well as the FundingPips traders story and how did they reach to the point that they have reached to. So Diddy, is our complete pleasure to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's start. We actually have a lot of people in the comment section that were waiting here for you to start this conversation, so I'm really excited about it. But Diddy, can you share a little bit about yourself and how have you started trading with FundingPips?
All right, so thank you very much. My name is Didy, and I'm actually from Chad, right? And I'm currently in Ghana, and I do computer science in university here in Ghana. And I started trading back in 2022. It was actually introduced by one of my friend or one of my colleague at school. So before I even started with forex, I was into crypto. So I made some money back from the 2021 bull run, and at that time I didn't know when to sell. So I made a good amount of money, but I didn't know when to sell. And at the point, maybe I thought my money is gonna keep going up, and eventually crypto ended up crashing. So I lost all the gain I made. And from there, I was like, let me just start trading. And when I started, it's not like I wanted to make money from trading. It's more of me knowing when to take profit on my crypto gain. Yeah. And when I started learning how to trade, and later I saw that there's more like there's way more money to make from forex than just making money from crypto. So that's basically how I started trading. That was back in 2022.
Nice. Actually, we do have quite a lot of FundingPips traders starting with crypto, and then they, after some time transitioned into forex. So it's always interesting to hear about it. And you mentioned something about exits, which in forex are actually really important as well. But I guess we can talk about that later. But I also want to understand now. You made that switch into forex, and what inspired you to begin the trading in forex. But also I want to understand what kind of challenges have you faced early in your trading journey?
All right, so when I started learning how to trade, as I said, my first goal was to know when to take profit in crypto. But later on, I noticed that crypto, it takes a lot of time for it to go up or go down. So I was like, let me learn. I started learning first about the fundamental of forex, and I've learned that there is like we can have prop firms that can give you up to, let's say, 100 to 200,000 in capital to trade and make money pretty much monthly without you are waiting for price to go up to make money. Even if price goes down, you're still making money. So that was like the main reason why I switched from crypto to forex. I still like hold some crypto, but forex is like the main thing I do for a living, basically. So that was pretty much. And the challenge I had mostly was the capital, because as I said, I lost a lot from crypto. So the small left, that was what I actually used to pay for course, to learn how to trade, and then use that small money to start buying some prop firm challenge. I started with a personal account, but as usual, blown a couple of account, and eventually I went to start trading with forex, with prop firm. But even with prop firm, I went through a losing streak, but eventually I end up getting some good money trading with prop firm. Yeah.
And how long did that losing streak in a prop firm kind of lasted for you? So when did you find that profitability, when you kind of thought, okay, this is the game changer for me?
Yeah, so I started trading with prop firm, I think was back like by June 2022. I started with my forex funds, and I have like somehow my first challenge, I did pass it. I passed my first challenge phase 1. That was like a 5K account, but eventually I lost the live account without even getting a payout. Losing the live account, I have blown a lot of account, but for the losing streak, I can say it took me up to like 1 whole year to actually be able to get some payout from profit.
Yeah, it's a journey, always a journey. And obviously that experience of being a trader and then going through the challenges, not succeeding at the start, shapes you in some kind of way as a person, as a trader. So can we tell our audience, how has forex and trading shaped you and your life and you as a person?
Yeah, so when I came to Ghana at first, I'm a kind of guy that likes going to parties. Like when I go to school, I like making a lot of friends and stuff. But when I started with forex, I'm more of like interested into building myself than me just going to make friends or going for parties and stuff. So I like learn how to like shape myself to master my emotions and master the way that I actually interact when I get into a situation. Because like anytime when I start trading, like I use my mind to know, like to analyze and take decisions. So I'm more of like myself. I'm not really like with people or maybe go for parties and those kind of things. So it helped me to really build myself. That's the key thing
That's
here.
beautiful that trading itself has pushed you towards personal growth, right? And more self-awareness when it comes to handling your emotions and being focused and understanding. And this is one of the key things that we sometimes undermine as traders, is that we actually through trading learn that there are certain situations we have zero control over, and we just need to manage ourselves in those situations, because as traders, that's essentially what we have to do on the charts. We have no control over the charts, but we only have control over our actions and reactions and behaviors and habits and all of that. So it's really beautiful to hear that it pushed you towards that personal growth. Now, let's think about those rewards and that time that, you started being profitable, and specifically at FundingPips. I want to really understand what was the most memorable reward that you had received from FundingPips as a FundingPips trader, and what did it mean to you at that moment? And I don't know whether it was the first one, maybe it was the last one, maybe it was somewhere in the middle, but which one really stick with you?
Yeah, so I started trading with FundingPips in 2023. I took my first account. I think back then you had like HFT series. That was like my first account I bought. Even passing with the bot, I end up losing the live account. So I went back 2024. That's when things took off. So I bought a couple of 50K, and eventually I end up passing my 50K account. The first reward, it wasn't really memorable, but the second one actually was, because the second one I made a profit of, I think, $6,600 on my 50K account, which when I closed my trade, I saw myself on the FundingPips leaderboard, which is actually my first time actually being on the FundingPips leaderboard. And I was really, really happy. I think I was like 7th, but what actually motivated me more to like keep trading and stuff is the following day when I came, I went from being 7th to like 2nd without even trading the account, because some people that were on top maybe lost some money. So it made me like go on top of the leaderboard. So that was like the payout that I really, really like. It was really important for me, because for the first time I went into the FundingPips leaderboard. And I think my mom, right, she's a nurse, and she used to tell me that she doesn't really like her job and she wants to quit her job. She wants to start a business and stuff. And I remember I used some of that money to give her to start her job, and that allows her to actually retire from her job. Like she started a business and then she retired from her job. So yeah, that was really,
That's
really
so
good for me.
beautiful. That's so beautiful. Congratulations on that. And I'm so happy that you were able to actually provide that freedom to your mom, you know, and to relieve her from having to do something and actually, you know, focus on what she wants to pursue, you know, her passion and her own business. So that's really beautiful. And big congratulations, first of all, on being on a leaderboard, and second of all, to stopping when to know to know when to stop to trade, because like you said, first you were 7th, but then you actually went to the second place because others did not know when to stop, and obviously that then have that adverse effect on your account. And 12% gain on a 50k account, that's phenomenal. So really congratulations on this. And actually my next question was going to be, how did you use those rewards, and how did those rewards impact your life or the life of people around you that you love? So you already shared the story about your mom, but also how did it shape you, you know, receiving that kind of amount, your second reward from FundingPips, in total receiving $27,000. How has it changed your life? How has it shaped you? What is different now than it was before?
Yeah, so for me, whenever I do get a payout, I always like to like reward myself. Sometimes I take maybe a 1 week trip, or let's say a 3 days trip somewhere, just to go and like chill, relax my mind. So me getting that all of those payouts, it really made me think that yeah, this is really like the path that you can actually make consistent money for a living. So I know that I have to take this thing seriously, and if I do take it seriously, then I know that I can take it as a source of income for me to make money like pretty much every month. So it made me to be more even focused, because some people, when they get their first payout or when they get some couple of payouts, they think that okay, they have gotten enough money and maybe they don't feel like they want to go and lose it again. But for me, it was the opposite. I even wanted to like buy more account, get more allocation, and then be able to make more money for a living. So that
For
is
you,
how I actually saw the things. Yeah.
it's beautiful. For you, it was like an eye-opening moment. Look what is possible. Look
Yeah.
what is possible, that with those rewards, I am able, from FundingPips, to retire my mom. I'm able to travel. I'm able to improve my life, the life of my loved ones. And that makes me want to focus even more and be better
Yeah.
and do more. And what kind of things did you do to become a better trader? So let's go back. That second reward you received, you retired your mom, you treated yourself, you had that money in your bank account, and then what actions did you take to kind of think, okay, now I want to become even better trader? Could you share that with our audience?
Yeah, so to become a better trader, we have a lot of things that you have to focus on. It's not just strategy. We know that for you to be good at any profession, you should actually know how to do that thing. If I'm a trader, I should know how to trade. The same if you, let's say you are a pilot, you should know how to fly the plane to actually do it. So for that, the first thing I know that psychology, the strategy I really have to like focus on and shape it in a way where I know that this can actually make me money. And once I deal with that, the second one was actually more of like the mindset and the trade management and those kind of things. Because anytime you take a trade, you always want to make sure that you let your trade run for you to make that money. And if price is going against you and you close, sometimes it reverse and then you lose out on some gain. So you have to focus on all of those. Trade management, risk management also is really key. So if you full pot your account, there's no way that you can make consistent payout or you can make money every single month. Some months you can make money, but some months you'll end up maybe losing a good amount of money. But if you do have a consistent risk on your account, you know that you have a risk management plan. So if you are risking maybe 0.5 or let's say 1%, you know that every single setup has to be the same amount. So it helps you to grow your account in a more mathematical way, not like you hoping for something incredible to happen to you. So the risk management, trade management, really important, and psychology as well. Because sometimes when I have a situation in my life, sometimes it impacts my trading as well. If I did have a problem with a friend in the morning, when I come to trade, most of the time I end up losing money because my mind is not prepared to actually like trade or manage my trade really well. So psychology, you really want to focus on peace and you really want to just be yourself. So when you are trading, So these are like some of the
Absolutely.
things that I took into consideration to actually become a better
Absolutely.
trader.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing that. I really love what you have said. And I really love how you highlighted the triangle of three, how I call it. It's my personal branding for it. But, you know, it's kind of technicals, risk management, psychology. All those three need to go hand in hand. There is sometimes a lot of discussion in our industry about what's more important, technical, psychology. No, all of it is important. We need to
Yeah.
really, as traders, work on all of it. And another thing that I love, obviously, from biased psychologist perspective, is that you said how important mindset is, that you need to make sure that your mind is prepared to handle profits and to handle losses, and to be
Yeah.
able to handle what's going on in your P&L. So, you know, it's really beautiful to hear that. And guys, if you do want to boost your trading psychology, every Friday we go live with Funding Pips on YouTube at 5 p.m. Dubai time, and we talk about different topics. So I just want to put it out there if you do want to improve that. Now, I want to kind of think and talk about your future plans. So how will you plan to use your future rewards from Funding Pips to improve your trading skill in your trading career even more?
All right, so there's one thing I wanted to say earlier, which I did not, is actually thanks to you, some of your videos on Instagram really helped me to like work on my
Beautiful.
psychology as well, because you do talk about psychology a lot on Instagram, and that really helped me as well. And for futures reward, first for me, it's like what do you use to trade is really important. If you have your laptop, if you have a stable internet connection, because especially in Africa, having a stable internet connection with maybe light is really challenging. So these are like the primary things I focus on. I focus on what actually makes me money. So if it comes to me buying a new phone because it's important for me to use to trade, or maybe improve my gears because it's important for me to trade, I close my eyes and I just put the money there, because I know that I'm gonna make the money back. Because as far as I'm a trader, I will end up making the money back. So the first thing is me buying the gadgets for me to
Yeah.
continue trading. Okay. And the second thing is me building a family. So first, I like my primary goal this year. I don't think that I will be able to achieve it this year. Maybe next year would be to buy a house. So if I do have my own house and maybe buy a car, and then if I have my trading set up with my lights, everything is in-house, I know that there is really nothing that can affect my my trading, because maybe I could have some situations that could be above me, let's say families and maybe health related. But first, really important is use that money to make my trading good and build a good family. So these are like my primary goal to use for my future.
Amazing. And someone in a comment said investing in your trading journey and investing in your environment. And I really agree with that, because actually you are showcasing the focus on things you can control. So your
Yeah.
environment and, you know, investment and purchase of the house, that's so beautiful. And I'm so happy for you that you are able to actually do that from the rewards as well. But also, you know, you are building an environment that's stable, that is able to help you to progress and grow with your trading. So really reinvesting back in yourself, in your education, in stability all around you, which is fantastic. Now, I want to know, and I want you to speak to the users, you know, of traders that are watching us right now, and understand what kind of advice would you give to someone new to trading and someone who is considering starting their journey with Funding Pips.
All right, so for someone that started trading, first, it depends on what stage you are. If you are a student, or let's say if you have a full-time job, it depends. But for me as a student, there's something I can tell to maybe my fellow student, is that when you are a student, you have a lot of time to use to learn how to trade. Because for someone that has a full-time job, might not be able to get enough time to learn how to trade and be able to trade without him quitting his job. You don't want to just quit your job and start trading without you knowing how to trade. But when you go to school, you don't go to school every day, especially when you're at the university. Maybe you go to school 3 days in 5 days, and you can use those 2 days left to maybe learn how to trade. So use your time wisely to be able to learn that skill properly. And one thing which is actually, it was a mistake I've made, and I don't want them to make is, when you start trading, like, don't deposit the money, like don't start trading with real funds. All right, like you getting that money is really difficult. The money you have to get to start trading is really difficult, and treat it well. You don't just deposit. First learn how to trade, and then maybe paper trade it, demo it, and when you know that you are consistent on demo, then you can go for, let's say, a live account or a prop firm challenge. And for a prop firm especially, you want to, as a trader, you want a prop firm that like gives you a peace of mind, especially when it comes to reward. As FundingPips has that zero payout denial is something that I really appreciate, because as a trader, when you trade and you make your money, you want to make sure that the prop firm is always gonna pay you out. So choosing the right prop firm like FundingPips, which has zero payout denial, is really important. And the challenge you want to buy is also important, because as a beginner, you don't want to go and buy 100K, because you're obviously going to, most of the time, you're going to lose your first challenge. So probably just buy a small account, something like 5K or 10K. And then if you see that you're able to, let's say, grow it consistently for at least 3 months, then you can maybe upgrade. You can go to 25K to 50K to even 100K. But first challenge, buying a big account, it's not really necessary. And just take your time and focus on the 3 things which I said earlier, like trade management, risk management, psychology, and the strategy as well. So if you do all of these things correctly, you'll see that you'll improve over time, and you may actually be able to get some good rewards and focus on your trading career.
Amazing. What a wonderful advice. Thank you so much for that. And the advice is, like, if you have not heard it properly, you'll be able to rewatch it on our YouTube channel. But first of all, zero payout denials. That's so important. You know you're working hard. You know it's safe. It's there. And 2, actually do not try to jump from 0 to 100. Go through those steps as a trader and build up to what you need to build up to. And one of the best advices is, do not deposit immediately your personal funds, and because a lot of us have been there, and it's not a very nice feeling. It creates a lot of self-doubt, and you don't want to have to go through that. So beautiful advices. Thank you so much. But now I also want to learn, because you already told me that trading has really helped you to grow on a personal level and improve yourself. But what has trading also taught you about life, about yourself? Perhaps some things that you did not expect that trading would teach you outside of trading.
Sometimes when I trade, how do I make it? It's difficult what trading teaches you compared to what you have in real life. Let's say, for example, me and my girlfriend, sometimes when, let's say, we go to the market and we buy something that maybe for her was costly, but for me it's not. Or sometimes money is lost. Okay, let's assume that there's $100 that is fell somewhere and it's lost. She will be worried all day because the money is lost. Like, that's a lot of money. But for me as a trader, knowing that I have lost far more in less amount of time, like, it's actually, yeah. So trading taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of things compared to like what happened in trading and life. It's not really easy to like handle both, and it's just kind of, yeah.
It changes your perspective on things, and perhaps there is this factor of detaching from money and value of money because of how we trade and what we do. It's quite an interesting topic, actually. Thank you for answering that. Now I want to talk more about community, because you joined FundingPips in 2024, you said, right? Or 2023?
Yeah, 2023.
2023. So it's been now 2 years, you being part of FundingPips community, being FundingPips trader. So how has being part of FundingPips community influenced your trading journey as well?
Yeah, so first, as I said earlier, which on your Instagram you do post a lot of videos, motivational videos or some advice. It really helped me, because if I did not get maybe to FundingPips, I may have never maybe learned some of those things that you do push out to audience. So that has really helped me a lot. And second is the Discord channel. at first I'm not really like a kind of chatting in Discord channels, but lately I do go ask some questions, and lately especially I did get some friends, like some people that used to ask me some questions, and sometimes I do ask them questions back to just maybe learn about trading, like some rules, or maybe just some trading advice. So yeah, the Discord has helped me lately because I do get some new friends and new people, and especially the Instagram, which has really helped me to learn on psychology and stuff.
That's really beautiful to hear. So it wasn't just the Discord itself, but actually social media channels of FundingPips and being able to, receive educational content that is helping you to grow. But then also you found support in the community and traders like you being a part of the same journey, etc. Do you have any stories where perhaps, because the reason why I'm asking, as traders, it can get lonely. We are on our own in front of our computers, in our bedrooms or offices, and we are trying our best. And sometimes we also put a brave face in front of our loved ones, that everything's okay, everything's going good, but really it's not, And I always say this, and I will always say, us traders will understand each other in a way that nobody else can understand. So do you have any stories where you actually were able to go to Discord community or speak to another fellow traders at FundingPips and you guys supported each other?
Yeah, because let's assume that when I wake up in the morning, especially London session is like 7 a.m. my time. So when I trade, and let's assume I lost money, like my girlfriend doesn't understand me when I'm sad. Like she's like, what happened? Because she knows a bit about trading, but she doesn't really know much. So when I tell her this happened, she doesn't know like what she really has to do to support me in that way. You understand? But if I do chat with, let's say, a friend on Discord, or let's say on FundingPips Discord, the person understand me, and sometimes the person gives me advice that, don't worry, maybe that was a normal loss and tomorrow you'll get something better. Or sometimes when I do share my loss and another trader shared that he had the same loss, I feel a bit better because like I wasn't the only one. So I know that next time we'll all win. You understand? So it really really helps when you talk to a trader when you have, let's say, a loss or some sort of challenge in your trading, than you talking to someone that has no knowledge about trading. So yeah, it has really helped me a lot. Yeah,
absolutely. It's very very much about being able to relate, because she has best intentions at heart, but she doesn't understand that feeling that we go through when we are frustrated, when we are angry, when we lose too much, when we lose ourselves on the charts. It's a very specific emotions and feelings psychologically that we go through as traders. So actually being able to find that support amongst fellow traders is so important. And guys, in our YouTube description, there will be a Discord link. So if you're not part of the community, you can join the community. We have different channels. We also host on Mondays a psychology chat, which is called Psychology Refill. So you can prepare for the week ahead. So we have a lot there, and you can speak to fellow traders who understand you. And that's so, so important. Now, Diddy, at what point on your journey you understood that, you know what? I think my story will be able to inspire others. It's important to share my story. When was that kind of breakthrough moment for you to understand that your words, your journey has impact on others?
yeah. So I think at the beginning I did say that when I started I did not have a lot of money apart from, and even when I said that I made some money from crypto, it wasn't a lot of money. I invested maybe $100 and I made up to $2,000. So $2,000 in my currency, that's up to 1 million. So that was like a lot of money for me. But then when I gradually lost the profit and I started trading, at first, if I see a $50, I see is a lot of money for me. So I always care about those small amounts. But at the point where when I keep trading and I keep getting reward, my first reward could maybe be like $100, $200 small money. I just take it out. I close my trade really early because that is the money I'm aiming for. But at that point where I see that my trade is running for $1,000 profit and I just don't close it, I don't even care about it. And maybe later it has hit take profit, I close and I get my payout. I know that my psychology has really improved. So me going from not having, let's say, $50 to $100 and seeing $1,000 running in profit and not closing, just waiting for the final result, it's really exciting, because a lot of people, especially Africans, like that money, like the money at the beginning I started with, that was like a lot of money. So anyone right now thinking that maybe this is my current situation, but when you start trading and you really take it seriously, at the point you'll see a good amount of money on your account, but you still think that this is just normal. So you'll get to that level. So it's something that it was really beautiful for me. I think anyone can actually do it too.
It's beautiful, it's fantastic, it's admirable, there's so many positive things that I could say, you know. And there is one thing that I want to point out, that at the start of your journey, you did what you had to do, and you were focused on making money. Even if it was $100, that $100 meant a lot. And see, very often it's not about the amount of the reward, but it's about the meaning behind the reward, and how those little pieces of rewards can really make a difference on your trading journey, relieve that financial pressure, so then you can keep on moving forward. And then you get into the point that the numbers and money doesn't really matter anymore. You are so process driven now. And when you focus on your process, money will always follow. That's the beauty about trading, you know. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, if you had to give one advice to our audience right now, what would it be?
Well, just keep trading. That's like the most interesting thing, because if you already started trading and you've seen people successfully making money from trading, just know that it's something that you can do it too. So keep trading. Just keep working on your psychology, your strategy, everything. Find yourself a community, right? Like a broker, a prop firm. Just keep trading, and at the point you'll eventually make that money. It's not impossible. So anyone can do it. So if any kind of difficulty you're going through, just keep trading. You should be able to make it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for saying that. And guys, now it's your opportunity to ask Diddy questions. So I will pick the best questions, and you will be able to find out anything to do with psychology, risk, technicals, journey, whatever it is that you would want to ask. Please type in now on YouTube comment section through the live. Now, we're going to give out 10K accounts today, but I'm going to tell you later how to enter into the competition to be able to win 10K giveaway account. If you took part in last week's giveaway, then please go back to last week's success story, and we have pinned in a comment section who is the winner, and the winner will be contacted. All right, so now let me ask the questions. We have a lot coming through, Diddy. You're very popular today. I love seeing the activity. Let's see. Okay, I have one. So Kirabel is asking, I'm struggling with overtrading and impulsivity. Can you please share your insight into how you were able to deal with it?
Okay, impulse trading, like entering before price hit your zones, this kind of thing. So
let's assume so. Let's assume the impulsivity, or maybe entering too many trades, and being, you know, not very process driven, but kind of, you know, reactive to the charts.
Okay, so one thing that I use the most is trading view alerts. It has really helped me a lot. So whenever I analyze my trade and I know that, let's say I have a point of interest that I'm waiting for price to come before I get the setup, all I do is I set a trading view alert at that zone, and I just go and do something else. When I'm saying something else, I could be playing games or maybe on my phone. I do something else, not trading related. And as soon as I hear my alert, I come on the chart and I get my setup. So that's like the way for you to not have that FOMO of like missing your trades or entering before price hit your maybe zone you're waiting for, those kind of things. And once you enter, do the same thing. If you have a target, take profit, set an alert there, and go do something else. Once your alert is triggered, come back. Because when you are there, price goes up, you miss your TP, comes back down, then you closed it, or maybe you added another position, which price end up going down and giving you maybe a bigger loss. So you can avoid those impulse trading kind of thing by just setting a trading view alert, and then once your alert get triggered, either if it's a stop loss or take profit, or if it's entry, just set an alert and come and manage your trade. So that is the
Beautiful.
only way I deal with it.
Beautiful advice, because what Diddy is stating here, he's not overexposing himself to the charts, because if he was staring at his trade consistently, he would potentially start micromanaging, entering new positions, doing this, doing that, because he would constantly worry, and as the trade would move up and down or be stuck at break even, it would trigger so many emotions within him. So he says the trade, does his job, sets the alarms, distracts himself with something completely non-trading related, and I love that. Thank you for answering this. I've got another question, which is a big one. How do you handle yourself when you are in drawdown?
Yeah, so when I'm in drawdown, when I'm in profit, for me, it's pretty much the same thing. And if you can do that, then I don't think that you are far from being profitable. Because the mistake I see a lot of traders make is when they are in drawdown, they tend to reduce the risk because they are maybe afraid to lose their account or this kind of thing. But let's look at this. If you take 5 trades, and out of the 5 trades, if you had 4 losses on a row, you know that you are down 4%, assuming you are risking 1%. And if the next trade is, let's assume, is a 10 risk reward, you keep risking 1%, you are going to make 10%. That recover the 4% drawdown plus you making a 6% profit. So if you keep risking the same amount, doesn't matter the drawdown, if your trading strategy really works, you will eventually end up getting out of that drawdown. But the case where you had 4%, 1% loss each, and the win, you maybe take it with 0.1% risk, you'll just make 1% on the winning trade, and it will take you pretty much forever to be able to recover the drawdown. So keep risking the same amount and just follow your trading plan. That's it.
Absolutely. That's a very good advice. And that's something I do personally as well. I maintain the same because it's mathematics for me. Either way, it will work, but I just need to just continue with the same risk. And when you apply that, everything should be good. All right. I have a further question. Thank you for answering this. So I have a statement and a question. I saw Diddy killing the market out there. He's very good. I'm interested in what exactly motivates him to keep getting rewards, and how are FundingPips rewards improving his personal life?
So thank you very much for the person asking the question. Thank you that I trade well. That's really appreciated. And for the rewards, I think I did explain pretty much what I do with it. First, I built myself, right? So if there's something that is important for me to use to trade, I go for it. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, where I stay, sometimes I have light out that maybe takes 2 days for it to come back. And I saw that that was really an issue for me, because sometimes when the light goes off, I'm not able to let it use my desktop to trade. So what I did is I took some money and I bought some solar panel. So now when the light goes off, I just plug my solar panel and I continue trading. So I use it to improve the way I trade, and sometimes I just had to reward myself by just taking some small trips. That's like the way I use my reward, and just keep trading. That's it. Yeah.
So beautiful. So beautiful. I think my favorite quote so far from this that I heard from you is, I first built myself, then I started building others. You know, absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I have a further question. Very interesting questions, very beautiful answers. Thank you. So the question is, Diddy, what do you do besides trading to have more self-control, like reading, meditating, exercising?
Yeah, so for that, I'm pretty bad at it, because first I thought maybe apart from trading, I may, let's say, go to the gym and those kind of side activity. But I end up not really doing it. Like, let's assume that I want to go to the gym by 4, and by 4 I end up being stuck in a position that doesn't want to hit take profit. So I end up not just going to the gym because I have a position running. So anything apart trading, I like playing games, right? So whenever I'm not trading, or if I'm holding a position, I just get on my couch and maybe start playing some games. Or sometimes I'm also a programmer. I do computer science at the
Okay.
university. So I do, let's say, program some website and those kind of, mostly are like side project, my own project. So these are some of the things I do outside of trading. So yeah.
So you're keeping yourself occupied, and also congrats on the subject that you are actually studying. You know, you really need your brain power for studying and also for trading, but you are doing fantastic. I feel like one is feeding another. And also I love how you're distinguishing the difference between trading and doing studying and this and that, and really understanding that actually taking break from trading and focusing on studying or something else is beneficial for you. That actually helps you grow and, you know, refresh your mindset. I have plenty of questions which I cannot ignore any longer about your strategy. Of course, share with how much you are comfortable, but there is a big interest in how do you trade, perhaps how do you analyze the markets, what's your entry time frame, if you could share a little bit with our traders.
All right. So at first, when I started trading, as almost every trader, I went through indicators with support and resistance. But most of those things did not work for me. And one thing that actually like worked for me is trading liquidity, because like in pretty much any sort of market, liquidity is important. So if you want to buy something from someone, the person should have that thing available for you to buy. So that's like pretty much how the forex market works. And I've been trading Euro USD for 2 years, but last year I switched to gold. So the my favorite trading pair is now gold, and the way I analyze, if I would go through, it's gonna take a while. But if I should make it like pretty simple, I do a top-down analysis from most of the time from the weekly time frame to even to the 1 minute or even 15-second time frame. So the weekly time frame, daily, especially weekly and daily, these are things that I look at it at the beginning of the week. So let's say on Sunday evening, I analyze the chart on the weekly and the daily, and sometime on the H4, just for me to know that if the week is actually going to be bullish or bearish. So once I know that, let's assume the week is going to be bullish, then on Monday, all I do is I focus on my H4 and 15 minute to know the market direction, such as if the 15 minute is bullish, then I'm more likely to be looking for buys. And 15 minute is more like the market structure I focus on, like take profit and yeah, mostly take profits. And my entry confirmation entry mostly is on the 1 minute time frame, because I'm more of like a scalper and a day trader. Sometimes when my trade takes long, I just call it like day trading kind of thing. But if my trade takes less, maybe just a scalping. So 1 minute is my entry, like the confirmation entry is the 1 minute, and 15 minute is my target. So 15-minute market structure, 1 minute confirmation entry. And as I mentioned previously, liquidity, every single setup, I need a liquidity graph, which is something that if you are trading maybe ICT or smart money concept, you should be familiar with. So if I do not see a liquidity graph, then I basically have no setup. So every day I see a liquidity graph, and let's say market direction is bullish, then I look for my confirmation and then I enter. So that's how I do it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And you know what I'm hearing the most, Diddy, from your answer is, okay, you have your concept of trading, but reality here, traders, is that it's not about so much about the concept, but it's about executing that concept for long enough for that concept to allow to pay you. Because very often traders jump from one to another, to this, to that. But actually, whatever you are trading, whether it is the famous strategies, whether it's the most simple strategy, if you are going to consistently execute it, allow for the numbers to play out, be strict with your risk management, trust me, you would be so profitable. As long as you just stick to one thing and repeat it over and over and over again. Now,
Yeah.
go on, tell me, do you have thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
So what you said is actually right, because at first I started trading support and resistance. It wasn't working for me. But I've seen people that been making money trading support and resistance, the same strategy that I left. So what you said is actually right. Like pretty much any strategy works, but it depends how you actually apply. Some people do apply it right and end up paying off for them. Some people, maybe that's not really like meant for them, so they try something else. But jumping from strategy to strategy is not really a good thing as well. Depends how long you actually put the effort and if that actually works for you. So yeah, pretty much any strategy works, but again, it depends which one you actually put the most effort to actually let the result playing out. So you're right on that.
Exactly, precisely. Guys, I will take 2 more questions. We will let Diddy go so he can trade and get on with his day. But I saw a question regarding FOMO, fear of missing out, and perhaps I don't want to just ask you about FOMO, but scale of emotions, because you did say that psychology actually played a big part on your trading journey. So are there any particular emotions that you were struggling with at the start? What did you do and implement to help yourself to handle those emotions? I would personally, not only for the viewers, but I would be personally very interested to learn about that too.
So one thing is, sometimes when I get to trade, and then especially I miss my entry, right? And then price moves and keep moving, especially that happens on gold. Sometimes you just see price give you 1000 pips move and you missed it, and like the emotion of you seeing price moving without you and keep moving, it makes you to have that impulse trade that you end up just blowing your account. It did happen to me a lot in the past, and I do even have some students that, like some of my friends actually, like sometimes we are trading together, we have like a small group of WhatsApp, and then when you trade and a day we just miss a setup and price just keep moving. So me, what I do, I close everything trading related. I off my laptop. I sometimes even my my account on my phone, I log out of my MT5 account. That's the only way for me to not open and start entering position without like even analyzing. So I close everything trading related and I do something else. I go for a walk or maybe I play games, I do something else. But when I miss my setup and prices keep moving, the best thing you can do is go off before you start going some crazy move. So
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. I really love the way you taught yourself how to cope with things, because sometimes people think that there is this magic potion that you need to do in order to be a profitable trader. But actually, what you need to do is discover yourself, understand yourself, what triggers you, what doesn't. And you found a way of managing yourself and your environment, and you know what's important for you. And for me, that's amazing to hear. So I'm going to give you a last question. Okay. So the last question is, hey, Diddy, was there ever a time you felt like quitting Forex? What helped you to push through and get back on track?
So yeah, there've been a lot of time that I felt like giving up, especially on my first year started trading. Like I started trading, I had little money, and then I just deposit and I blow it. So when I blow, I'm like, I've been doing this thing for a while and I keep losing money. I might ever actually end up making money trading. And the only way for me to like keep going, first I take a small break. When I'm saying a break, not like a way too long break, maybe a 1 week break, I just try to think like, what am I actually doing wrong? So once I know that this is what went wrong the last time I blew my account, then I try to see how I can improve before even trying to fund my account again. So if you can improve one mistake at a time, at the point you'll end up improving pretty much every single mistake you've been making. So that is how I was able to, let's say, go through me and maybe trying to give up and eventually trying to like continue until I end up making it. And I've seen people making it from trading. So why not me? It's really important. Because,
Exactly,
yeah.
precisely. All of the power, and this is a big and beautiful conclusion from this conversation, is all of the power is within you. You can listen to Diddy, you can come attend psychology series with FundingPips, you can engage in a content, but at the end of the day, you need to make that action. You need to look inside and think, those are the mistakes. This is what's repetitive about my behavior. And this is what I need to sort out. And there is a simple method, such as closing your laptop and getting on with your day, and then coming back the next day, like Diddy is doing, and doing nothing trading related when he misses the move, because he knows from previous experience, he's just going to get potentially emotionally triggered and get into the markets when he shouldn't. So Diddy, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. You're so wise and you're so stoic about your trading. You're very focused on your processes, and genuinely I'm so proud of you and your progress, and I'm so happy that we were able to have you here and talk about your journey. And guys, thank you so much for participating. Diddy, I don't know whether you saw, but the participation has been phenomenal. Comments coming through non-stop. At one point there was 160 that I had to scroll down, which is fantastic. And guys, you are able to actually get 10K account with us today. After we finish this conversation with Diddy, please go to the comment section and tell us what inspired you the most about Diddy's success story, and we will pick a winner by end of this week. Now, if you attended last week's success story and if you want to find out who won the account, go to the comment section. We have commented the winner. We will do exactly the same here. We're going to announce the winner at the end of the week in the comment section. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Diddy, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to have you here next when you hit your 100K in total rewards, and then we're going to talk even more about how your life has changed, and perhaps we will see you here one day at the FundingPips headquarter offices too. Thank you guys, thank you Diddy, and all the best. Take care, and guys, come to Friday psychology session.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Where success meets psychology. In Paulina's way, strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever. FundingPips. Built by traders for traders.